In the last lecture, I had discussed about the cause of water dispute with example. In this class, we will discuss how the water dispute can be solved. Because water dispute affects socio-economic and political condition of the entire region. It impedes the pace of development of the region. It causes uncertainty in the region, right, adversely affecting the economic growth and employment generation. Okay, so that's why its solution is essential. Getting well now? So actually, I had said that large size of Indian population is the cause, but it cannot be reduced. Okay, right? In the country like India, having different type of particular religious group and different type of particular belief among the people, right? It is not effectively possible immediately to check the population, I think. Second reason was the agrarian nature of Indian economy. If India will promote secondary and tertiary sector of economy and dependency of the people on the agricultural activity will get reduced, then the demand of water resource for irrigation will automatically reduce and it will be helpful in reducing the interstate water dispute. Getting well now? According to the finding of the magazine, the survey conducted by the magazine The Earth revealed the lack of water conservation technique in India as one of the important reasons of water dispute in India. So if we will develop adequate means to conserve the water resources, okay, water harvesting will be properly conducted, right? Effective utilization and management of water resources will be done, right? We will try to check the surface runoff so as to stop the flow of water in Bay of Bengal and Arab Sea, right? Through digging hole, okay, actually rainwater harvesting, etc. Then through water conservation technique, we can sort out this problem, okay? Again, you see, as far as the question of water dispute is concerned, actually lack of political will is also responsible for water dispute. You see, in Kaveri water dispute, Supreme Court had ordered to set up Kaveri River Authority, right, under the chairmanship of Prime Minister, with the Chief Minister of all the four associated political units, 3 state and 1 Puducherry as its member. But actually, this body was not created due to political reason. Okay, right? So this is also important aspect. And again, you see, there is a difference in the amount of water resource in North Indian River and South Indian River. You know, North Indian rivers are perennial in character because there are two sources of water of North Indian River. One is rainwater and second is meltwater, right? Because they are rain-fed as well as particularly they get water from the Himalayan region due to the melting of snow, okay? During rainfall season, they get water from the rainfall, and during dry season, when temperature increases, melting of snow occurs, right? And it also feeds the river of North India. On the other hand, South Indian rivers are rain-fed only. Okay, this is the rainfall is the only source of water of South Indian river. So if you will connect North Indian river with South Indian river, certainly it will ensure equitable distribution of water resources throughout India. Okay, the surplus water of North Indian river, if diverted in the South Indian river, certainly it will be helpful in sorting out the problem. But you see, in this work, Vindhyan act as a major obstruction because it is important water divide. It is not economically viable to particularly lift the water and to drop in South India. Okay, though particularly effort can be made, right, in particularly in secondary way. Getting well now? So such type of proposal was first proposed by K. Kamraj, who proposed for inland garden system. Inland garden system was the plan, right, in which there was a proposal to connect North Indian River and South Indian River. Okay, but ultimately during Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, right, the linking of river started under the program known as Amrit Kranti Yojana. Okay, Amrit Kranti Yojana was based on the concept of inland garden pattern. Okay, and we have several particularly example of linking of the river. Okay, Mahi was linked with one river, it is clear, na? Right? In my last lecture, I had explained about linking of Satluj with that of Yamuna. So it will certainly ensure equitable distribution of water wherever linking will be done, though the linking is also being opposed by environmentalists because it will affect the aquatic ecosystem adversely. It is clear, na? Because different water of different area poses different pH value, right? And accordingly different type of species survive in the water. If the water will be mixed na, then it will cause variation in the pH value and its composition na. So it may be harmful for certain species and this will cause reduction in biodiversity. Okay. So actually this is also a way to adjudicate the water dispute. Okay. Again, see, some political experts say that constitutional position of water resources is itself a cause of water dispute, because you know that under 7th schedule of the constitution, water resources is also figured as entry number 57 of central list and entry number 17 of a state list. Getting well now? But actually, as far as the question of constitution is concerned, constitution provides the center with limited power to make law with respect to water resources. One case will be in case of water dispute among the state, and second will be the developmental project associated with interstate river. Okay, but the constitution provides extensive power to the state legislature to make law on the water resources, and enjoying this power, several state governments formulate the law in their own interest and it aggravates the water dispute. And I had said in case of Kaveri Water Irrigation Protection Ordinance and Punjab Termination of Agreement Act 2004. It is clear now? So actually the constitutional experts suggest that the water resource should be transferred in the concurrent list and central government should formulate a universal law ensuring equitable distribution of water resource among all the state and union territory of India. Okay, but you see, the Sarkaria Commission expressed satisfaction over the present constitutional status of water resource. Okay, but the commission suggested certain change in the methodology. Okay, methodology to resolve the water dispute. Actually, you see, private as far as the question of Interstate Water Dispute Act 1956, though there is a proposal to set up tribunal, okay, but there is no fixed time frame to give verdict by the tribunal, to implement the verdict of the tribunal. Verdict of the tribunal is referred to as award. Okay, and again you see the verdict of the tribunal is again challenged in the Supreme Court, and actually the final decision is delayed, and the delayed decision will cause political colorization of this issue. Okay, so it will further aggravate the problem. Okay, so that's why Sarkaria Commission had suggested that this problem should be solved within a certain time frame. Okay, the government accepted it, and finally Interstate Water Dispute Act was amended. Right, the bill was introduced in 2017 and finally passed in 2019. Getting well now? So as per this new provision, you see, first the act contains the provision that the center will try that the state should resolve the issue through mutual negotiation. This is the first step. Okay, if particularly negotiation, adjudication of the dispute is not possible through negotiation, then a body should be created, dispute resolution committee, right? It is referred to as DRC, consisting of experts from different fields, right? So this DRC will adjudicate the issue, and for this particularly the act contains the provision that DRC should award the decision in 1 year, and in exceptional case 6 month additional time can be given. Okay, if the matter is not adjudicated by this tribunal, right, the dispute resolution committee, then the act provides for constitution of the tribunal. You see, there are several tribunals existing in India. to adjudicate different issues like Krishna dispute, Godavari dispute, Satluj, Yamuna dispute, etc. It is clear now. But as per this new amendment, a integral tribunal will be set up consisting of chairman, है ना, vice chairman, 6 particularly judicial member, and 2 particularly expert, which will be nominated by the central government. These experts will be from Ministry of Central Water Engineering Department, okay, and they will hold the minimum post of chief engineer, okay, and the decision will be given within 2 years, okay, and 1 year yes should be given. So it means particularly decisions should be adjudicated. If decisions will be given in a fixed time frame, then there will be no political colorization, and immediately the problem will be sorted out, okay. So this is important, particularly change which was brought through amendment which was made in Interstate Water Dispute Act now. Again you see, as far as the question of water dispute is concerned, I have said that the developmental project like River Basin Development Program, Command Area Development Program, though they are very good program in terms of their impact on economical production, because wherever Command Area Development Program was implemented, it changed the area as the important center of green revolution, as was seen in case of Tamil Nadu. Actually, the Tamil Nadu, geographical condition of Tamil Nadu is not conducive for agriculture, as Tamil Nadu is located in the leeward side of Western Ghat, okay, with respect to southwest monsoon, okay. Tamil Nadu receives rainfall through northeast monsoon, that is winter monsoon, and during the month of December, it get 110 centimeters of the rainfall. That's why in Tamil Nadu, some amount of winter rice was being produced, okay. But when Kaveri Command Area Development Program was implemented there, Tamil Nadu emerged as an important center of green revolution of South India. Similar was the case of third desert region of Rajasthan and Ganganagar and the adjoining district, okay, where the rainfall was less than 50 centimeters. The area was not suitable for agriculture at all, right? But when under Command Area Development Program, known as Satluj Command Area Development Program, also known as Indira Gandhi Canal Project, right? Network of canal irrigation was promoted there. This area emerged as an important center of green revolution of northwestern part of India. Now this area export fruit and vegetable to Canada and Western European country, right? Certainly Command Area Development Program changed the scenario of this area. Again, as far as the question of impact of the River Basin Development Program, it was also holistic, having multiple objectives, right? And in some part it was very successful in certain particular area. As for example, initially Damodar was referred to as sorrow of Bengal. Now it is referred to as gift for Bengal. Getting well now? So actually, but despite of this fact, this program accelerated or aggravated interstate water dispute, okay, because you see what is the impact of Command Area Development Program. So actually we say two important aspects, right? Two major criticism of this. One is it caused water dispute because the benefit of Command Area Development Program is enjoyed by the lower coast state, whereas the upper coast state have enjoyed negative impact, because to promote canal irrigation in the lower course, right? If you are promoting, particularly this is Command Area, so if you are promoting canal irrigation in the lower course, then you will have to construct a dam in the upper course, and the dam is associated with several problems like deforestation, like displacement of the people from this region, and the area is made seismically active. Getting well now? Okay? Got it now? So positive impact is fruit is enjoyed by lower coast state, and negative impact is enjoyed by the upper coast state. That's why the upper coast state opposes the move, and hence water dispute occur. Okay. Second aspect is, suppose this is third desert area. So desert area also holds particularly is example of ecosystem, na? Right? And whatever water available there, right? The desert ecosystem also try to maintain equilibrium between biotic and abiotic component of this zone, and this equilibrium is the basis of the stability of the desert ecosystem. Getting well? But if you will bring water from outer skirt region under command through canal and under command area development program, this water will act as a exotic component or not, right? It will act a exotic component, विदेश का काम करेगा, okay, and it will cause equilibrium, disequilibrium in this zone, okay. At the same time, I had said that the area where canal irrigation is promoted adversely affect the drainage pattern of this area, right? Water logging occur there, and hence the area suffer from water prone diseases like dengue, malaria, etc. It is clear now? So on one hand, command area development program causes water dispute. On the other hand, it is not eco-friendly, right? It is not sustainable agricultural program, okay, right? So you see, that's why a change was brought, okay. In place of command area development program, you see from first to fourth 5-year plan, river basin development program was given thrust. From 5th to 7th 5-year plan, command area development program was given thrust, okay. But realizing the drawback or negative implication of the command area development program, during 8th 5-year plan, right, watershed area development program was implemented, okay. Watershed area development program was implemented. Getting well now? Between first to fourth, main thrust was on river basin development program. During 5th to 6th, 6th and 7th 5-year plan, command area development program was given thrust now, okay. And from 8th 5-year plan, watershed area development program was started. Watershed area development program was started since 8th 5-year plan. Actually, you see, similar type of program was also introduced in 1956 in the form of Central Soil and Water Conservation Program, okay, but it had limited implication. Getting well now? But during 8th 5-year plan, watershed area development program was implemented, okay. Now, actually, you see, we had discussed in river basin development program, what is the meaning of river basin? So I had said that the area through which the river get water is referred to as river basin, okay. When I was discussing about command area development program, I had said that the area which is most suitable for agricultural activities is referred to as command area, okay. Since plain area is most suitable for agriculture, that's why under plain area is identified as command area. Hilly area, plateau area are not suitable for agriculture. That's why they cannot be command area. Getting well now? And since the lower course of the river is plain in nature, so that's why command area development program is mainly implemented in the lower course of the river. Getting well now? Right? Lower course of the river. So actually, okay. So similarly, one have to understand what is the meaning of watershed area development program. Two important aspects. First, you have to understand what is the meaning of watershed area, okay. Second aspect is what is watershed technique of agriculture, and third aspect which is important here is how watershed area development program differ from command area development program, okay, है ना. So as far as the question of watershed is concerned, according to FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, the area where flow of water is intended towards a point is referred to as watershed area. What is the meaning of watershed area? It is clear now? The area where flow of water is intended towards a point is referred to as watershed area. It is clear now? Suppose the water of this water is flowing in this direction towards this point, so this area will constitute the part of another watershed. Getting well now? It will constitute the part of another watershed, okay. If suppose some water is flowing in this direction along this point, So it will constitute the part of another watershed. Now, what is the definition given by FAO? It is clear. The area where flow of water is intended toward the point. Okay. To understand this, you see the drainage pattern. Suppose this is one important river. Okay. This is the tributary of this river. Okay. And this is the tributary of this river. Getting well now? This is the tributary of this river. Actually, A is the main river, B is its tributary, and C is the tributary of B. Getting well now? So actually, this will constitute a separate watershed. This will constitute a separate watershed. This will constitute a separate watershed or not? Getting well now? If particularly a river drains its water here, so it will be joined by another river. So this will also be watershed area. This will also be watershed area. Getting well now? Right? So if you see, in this case, the watershed area can be the part of the upper course of the river. Okay? And it can be the part of the lower course of the river. No? So whatever benefit is associated with the watershed area, it will be enjoyed by both upper course as well as lower course. Na? So it will not cause regional disparity. It is clear? Na? Such type of grievance that only lower course is getting benefit and upper course is not getting benefit, similar to that of command area, is not in case of watershed area development program. Na? So what definition the FAO given for the watershed area? It is clear na? Ki according to FAO, the area where flow of water is intended toward the point is referred to as watershed area. Getting well now? And second aspect is what is the meaning of watershed technique? It is clear now? Now see what is the meaning of watershed technique. Okay, and actually this definition is a global definition, but in context of India, you see ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Okay, ICAR stated that the area having 5,000 hectares of the land, having same type of soil, same amount of rainfall, and same proportion of the soil moisture, three factors, right? Having 5,000 hectares of the land, and a hectare of the land, having uniform type of soil, uniform type of rainfall, and uniform type of particularly soil moisture is referred to as watershed area. What is the meaning of watershed area? It is clear now. The area having 5,000 hectares of the land, okay, having same type of soil, same amount of rainfall, and particularly same amount of soil moisture. You see, what is the meaning of soil moisture? You understand? Actually, soil remain in crystalline form. It is clear now? In the form of crystal, and there exists pore spaces, a space between the crystal. No? So this space is either filled up by air or water. Whatever water which is present here is referred to as soil moisture. Okay, it may be 25%, right? If soil moisture is 25%, it means 75% in the gaseous body, right? If soil moisture is 50%, it means 50% is, right? If soil moisture is 100%, it means the entire zone is fully saturated by water. Getting well now? So actually first condition is same type of soil. Suppose the area is having red soil or alluvial soil or particularly black soil or laterite soil. But whatever will be the type of the soil, it makes no difference, but uniformity in the type of soil should be there. Getting well now? Same amount of rainfall should be there, okay, and same amount of soil moisture should be available there. Getting well now? So actually you see, according to Indian Meteorological Organization, IMO divided the entire subcontinent into 35 hydrological units on the basis of the amount of rainfall, and these 35 hydrological units can be identified as separate watershed. Getting well now? So what is the definition of FAO? What is the definition of ICAR? It is clear now, right? We will use here mainly, since it is Indian program of the government of India. So that's why it taken the definition given by ICAR as the basis now. So in India, how watershed area is defined, it is clear now. the area having 5,000 hectares of the land having same type of soil, okay, same amount of soil moisture and same amount of rainfall is referred to as watershed area. Okay. Now, second important aspect is what is the meaning? This was the definition of watershed area, but what is watershed technique of agriculture? Okay. So the watershed technique of agriculture is watershed technique of agriculture is the methodology of agriculture in which selection of crop is done as per the available soil and water resources. It is clear now, right? When we select the crop as per the available soil and water resources, suppose particularly this is desert soil, okay, or sandy soil, and here rainfall is 60 centimeter. Okay, average annual rainfall is 60 centimeter. So we will opt to produce here jowar, bajra and ragi. It is clear na? But if this is alluvial soil and rainfall is 150 centimeter, then we will cultivate rice na. That is clear na? So depending on the available soil and moisture resources there, the selection of the crop is conducted, and this method is referred to as watershed technique of agriculture. What is watershed technique of agriculture? It is clear now. Watershed technique of agriculture refers to the method of agriculture in which selection of crop is done as per the available soil and water resources of this area. Getting well now? As per the soil and water resources available in this area, it is clear now. Okay. Actually, you see, first, it means first step is the of water resource technique of agriculture is the assessment of available soil and water resources. Na? Okay, then only we will select the crop. Na? So you see the basic difference between command area development program and watershed area development program is in command area development program and watershed area development program. In command area development program, we first selected crop. Okay. Suppose we decided that in this area we will conduct the cultivation of rice, despite the fact of whatever rainfall is available there. Okay. And then we imported water from outskirt region. Consequently, it adversely affected the environmental condition of this region. Okay. On the other hand, it was opposed by the upper court state and his water dispute started. Getting well now? On the other hand, in case of watershed area development program, the first step is the assessment of available water and soil resources. Na? And second step is the selection of crop. Okay. So in watershed technique of agriculture, right, since selection of crop is conducted as per the available soil and water resources, there is no need to import water from outskirts region. In this case, there will be no water dispute. And since agriculture or selection of the crop is based on available soil and water resources, that's why ecological balance will be maintained. That's why watershed technique of agriculture is considered the basis of sustainable agricultural development program. Getting well now? So what is watershed area? What is the main aspect of the watershed area development program? It is clear now. So the government started watershed area development program on large scale during 8th 5-year plan. It is clear now. And you see, since it is the basis of sustainable agriculture, eco-friendly agriculture. Okay, so that's why most of the watershed area development program being implemented in India is being funded by the World Bank. Okay, and it is launched in the form of a pilot project. Actually, there are several watershed area development program. As for example, watershed area development program for black soil region in India, watershed area development program for red soil in India, watershed area development, Himalayan watershed area development program. So actually, according to the available soil and water resources of this region, the program is being implemented. It is clear now? Right? Effort is also made that out of the total allocation, the administrative cost should be minimum. Okay? And most of the resource should be utilized for developmental activity. So what is watershed area development program? That is clear now? Under watershed area development program, the farmers are given training to evaluate the periodically the available soil and water resources. Okay, they are also provided better quality seed, fertilizer, etc. It is clear now. Okay, so actually you see soil water technique of agriculture depend on the water and soil resources now. These are resources, and if you will prepare the map based on resource now, this map is referred to as thematic mapping. Okay, so thematic mapping is based on the available soil and water resources now. What is the meaning of thematic mapping is clear now. So suppose if thematic mapping will be made available, right, at the district level, at the state level, at the block level, and the village level, then it will be highly helpful for the farmer to select the corn, right. The village level thematic map is referred to as panchayat resource map, PRM. It is clear now. And nowadays you see, right, in the in preparing PRM, that is panchayat resource map or thematic map, right, is based on remote sensing and GIS technique, right. NATMO, located in Kolkata, that is National Thematic Mapping Organization, right, is located in Kolkata, is expert organization to formulate PRM, and most of the state government assigned the responsibility to formulate the village level panchayat resource map to this organization, and Kerala holds first rank in India, right, which has almost completed the task to formulate panchayat resource map. Okay, that's why you see, right, organic agriculture is very particularly important there. It is like eco-friendly. Eco-friendly components are being particularly given thrust in this state on larger scale. It is clear now. So what is the benefit of watershed area development program? It is clear now. देखिए, actually the first is the farmers are given training to evaluate the available water and soil resources now. Okay, and thrust is also given to ensure better utilization and management of available water and soil resources in low rainfall area, right. Main thrust is given on the promotion of drip irrigation and sprinkle irrigation, right, tapak सिंचाई और फुहारा सिंचाई. It is clear na. To install install drip irrigation over one unit of watershed, the average cost is 35,000 rupees. Okay, right, 35,000 rupees. So under watershed area development program, for general category of farmer, the government provides subsidy of 5,000. Okay, and for SC/ST beneficiary, right, 90% is in the form of subsidy and 10% is in the form of loan. Okay, so actually watershed technique is very important. It is eco-friendly program, right, and it can be considered as the best solution of water dispute in India. Okay, you see, actually Karnataka started agricultural activity based on the watershed technique of agriculture along leeward side of Western Ghatna, right, and hence particularly ragi production, because you see along leeward side of Western Ghat, average rainfall is around 60 centimeter na. Okay, so the geographical condition of this area is not suitable for humid crop like rice na. So that's why Karnataka opted to produce ragi in this area. And right now, Karnataka is producing adequate volume of ragi and getting adequate exchequer through its marketization. Okay, so actually you see watershed area development program will make the farmer economically viable. Okay, it will generate the employment in this area, make the area self-sufficient. Right, it is sustainable, that is long lasting development and production will be ensured, and at the same time there will be no water dispute among the state. Getting well now? So these are the way through which water dispute can be adjudicated or solved in India. Best of luck. Okay.